Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do some power solutions on my RV for some time now. The issue is that if you stop for lunch and want to heat up some food, for example, and run the microwave, you just can't unless you want to turn on your generator. So I've been wanting to become a little bit more power independent. I enjoy being able to boondock. I enjoy being able to just use my rig even if I don't have shore power or other creature comforts. If you want to do an overnight stop at a Cracker Barrel or something like that, you just don't want to have to worry about running out of battery. So about a year and a half ago, I had switched to lithium iron phosphate Life PO4 batteries. And basically I put a 200 amp hour battery from China in my rig, and subsequently got the appropriate power converter charger that would handle that and charge it properly. That has worked out great. We've been able to stop overnight at places, run our furnace all night long in near freezing temperatures, things like that, and had no issues with it. It actually turned out really well. The problem is that particular battery only had 100 amp maximum draw. The problem that brings you is that you cannot run a sizable inverter that will run your microwave with that. So my solution has been to go with a Born battery bank, and with their GC3 batteries that are out now, they provide 270 amp hours per battery. I've chosen to go with 3 of those to have a little over 800 amp hours of capacity available. And I've gone with the Victron inverter with the new MultiPlus II 50 amp that does a 3000 watt inverter, the 2x by 120 volt. So that has been a great solution, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Part of the first step is that I have wanted to make my installation as clean as possible, try and make it as factory as possible. I'm not a wiring expert. I'm not, I've done little wiring projects before, but this is my first major project that I've done on this rig. So what I've got here is a Grand Design 28BH and Reflection 28BH. It's a fifth wheel. And I didn't want to lose too much storage space either in the process of doing this. These rigs don't have a tremendous amount of basement storage, although it is substantial for what it is. So as part of that, starting on the AC side of the power system, you have a 50 amp connector that plugs into the back of the rig. It comes straight in through a Romex cable inside the rig and comes straight into your power distribution panel where your circuit breakers are and things like that. The issue is that for putting the Victron inverter into your front compartment where I wanted it, I had to extend that wire. Well, one of the reasons that I went with what I did, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, is that there were limited options for extending 6 gauge Romex, and that's what the wire is to handle 50 amps per leg. It's 6'3" Romex. So there's 3 conductors plus the ground wire Romex that comes into these rigs. So with that said, what I ended up having to do, instead of splicing in an extra length to run to the front compartment, because the power distribution panel is approximately a third of the way back from the front of the rig, I ended up pulling back my wires out of the breaker panel and connecting them into a transfer switch. From the transfer switch, I then went to my Victron inverter charger And then from the Victron inverter charger, I went back to my distribution panel. So what that allowed me to do is I now have a power distribution center or a transfer switch that will basically allow me to at some point run a dedicated connection for my generator. So if I wanted to fire up my generator and feed my batteries or feed the rest of the system, I can do that and not have to worry about plugging into a separate section of the rig. I can have its own dedicated line going to my generator. So it's going to provide a lot of flexibility on what can be done with the RV. So as part of this, I'll kind of show you, we're going to look in my bay here. So in my side bay here, we've got 3 Battleborn batteries, and we'll get to all of that on the 12-volt side here in a little while. Right now we're just talking about the AC side. So I've already pulled back my panel that basically it's a fake wall that, you know, uncovers the rat's nest of wires that come with every RV these days. So we've got all the water on the back of the Nautilus panel over there. We've got my water heater, things like that. Got the furnace back in the corner over there, and it's plumbing. And just on the other side, back in there, well, it's kind of hard to see, but right down there is the back of the circuit breaker panel, hidden away. That's behind the couch on the Reflection 28BH. So what I did is I pulled that cable out and I ran it over to this transfer switch that I have mounted to the floor. And with the water pump right next to it, there is some vibration that comes through that floor, and it did rattle the top lid of this transfer switch. So what I ended up doing is I went and put some rubber insulator between basically over the lip of the transfer switch main body, between it and the lid, and so it makes it a really tight fit, but there is no vibration now coming from the metal case of the transfer switch when I run the water pump. So just the little details like that is what keeps me up at night. But anyways, so from that transfer switch, I ran, coming out of it on this side, into a flexible conduit, which I attached up to the ceiling, or basically the underneath the frame of the RV. And right above me is basically the bathroom on the 28BH at this point. You can actually see the hot and cold lines and the drain pipe right there coming from the sink in the bathroom of the 28BH. So I've got basically the 2 gray flexible conduits. One is basically coming from the transfer switch going to the front compartment, and the other one is basically going from the Victron back to my breaker panel. And so basically you can see I made a large loop where it goes to my breaker panel, where that came through. And these wires are mostly all going to be hidden behind the fake wall once I put it back up. So all you're going to see is just this little bit that hangs from the ceiling now, kind of where the water lines are and things like that. So it's really not going to be an eyesore, especially no worse than what Grand Design did in this rat's nest. But this is basically how I've done the AC side of things. So we're going to go jump over to the front compartment. And so out here, we've got the Victron Multiplus. And with the Victron Multiplus, you can see I've got the wires that come through the wall. I just drilled some holes, and I did mount a piece of plywood to this wall to hold everything. So you kind of get a good view of that here. So basically I've got my AC lines coming through, and then they go down here to the Victron, one going in and one coming back out, basically for you know, feeding the inverter charger, and then one going back, the one on the left there goes back to the breaker panel behind the couch. So that's mostly it for the AC side, the AC power side of my installation. You can see that my Victron is currently in absorption mode, charging the batteries. There was a lot of things that I ended up having to do a lot of research on this installation to try and get everything set up just right on it. So part of the issue that you run into when trying to install these is that there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of good information, but the problem that you run across is that it's all scattered around the internet. And so finding everything to make these systems work right, and get all the connections right and things like that, it's a big project of planning. And you know, especially if you want to make it clean, not take up a lot of space, things like that. You know, there's a lot of other things to consider, such as custom wiring, your cables, especially for your DC power, things like that. So you know, there's a lot of considerations. So that's my solution to the AC power side, and this is gonna kind of wrap up my first video here. I am going to get into some more in a series here of the 12-volt side, why I went with the Born batteries, why I've chosen to do the things that I did. I do a lot of research before I decide to go forward with something, and you know, it takes a lot of planning for me. So long story short, there's going to be more. I'm going to get into the basic 12-volt system design that I've done, some of the things that I have done, like each and every step I'm going to go through. I'm also going to get into the configuration of the Victron inverter. The Victron inverter does have a lot of options and things like that. I'll show how to set it up for lithium batteries. I've also got a Cerbo GX that everything talks to. It does go to a control panel inside the rig. So there is a lot of other stuff that goes along with it. I'm going to go talk about all the different setup for all those different things. So stay tuned. There is a lot more to come, and I'll be coming out with these additional videos here shortly. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a great day.